Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Welcome students to the online NPTEL course Contemporary Architecture and Design. In the previous class we started discussing the different postmodern movement, and in the we also discussed one of the postmodern movement, which is historicism, and we have seen how they have taken historic depiction into the architecture which was not the style which was followed in the high modern era, especially in the internationalist and that modern phase 2's style. Now today we will discuss another postmodern movement which evolved after 1980s, which is high-tech movement. So there the technology started becoming the ornamentation of the building. So we have seen a similar kind of approach where technology started becoming ornamentation in the modern when we have seen the construction technique started becoming the ornamentation in the tensile and shell structure. And also we have seen in metabolism, services started becoming the aesthetic element, but in that this is not the way of showing the ornamentation is not high tech. So the services, when we are seeing this Richard Medical Lab, the services which looks does not look very futuristic or high tech, but just the services are becoming way of facade treatment. But here in the high-tech postmodern movement, where technology started making becoming technology and other elements are giving building a futuristic look with the ornamentation. So the technology, the architectural features of the technology, which is ornamentation, and technology can be the construction technique, the new material and services. So this is one example of the high-tech building, which is Pacific Design Center, designed in 1975 in by Cesar Pelli. So it's designed in Los Angeles, California. So this building, if you look at the building's shape, so these buildings are have a different shape and different color, which is there in the same complex. One is blue building, one is green, and one is red. And if you look at the building, this building also has a style of deconstructive approach. So deconstructivism is another postmodern movement. So if you look at the building, this building has a lot of angularity. This in this red tower, red building, in this the building is top heavy, the bottom is smaller, and this building is also top heavy, the green building, and this the lines are going in different way. So the construct when we have seen this structural elements are becoming aesthetic element of aesthetics in shell and tensile structure, where structures are shown, but here the structures are questioned, and so the angularity, dynamism and top heavy things are structurally not stable form. So this is not a structural stable form because it's very thin, and this is leaning on top. This is also on top, this is heavy. So this also has a deconstructive approach. So deconstructivism we will discuss in detail when we talk about the deconstructive approach in deconstructive movement in detail. But this design is taking an approach of deconstructivism as well as the high-tech design. So why this is high-tech? Because the new material, which is glass, is overly used, and totally it is cladded. by the new material, which is glass. So technology can also be the material and construction technique and many other things. So here the new material is encompassing and wrapping the building, which is also not a simplistic building like modernist movement. So a lot of forms are this is a complex form, and a lot of angularity is added into the form. So different colored tinted glasses are giving the look of the color of different buildings. So this blue building is a showroom, which is and these buildings are designed in different stages. The green building is the headquarter, which is designed in 1980, and red building is the office space or the parking, which is designed in 2011. So the bright red, blue and the green tinted glass claddings are showing the technology as ornamentation. So this is not just a translucent normal glass. This is a different colored, polished, and this has a shine from outside because of the glass is has a reflection component of the from the light, and this gives a futuristic look. So if you look at the shine of the building and with the different colors, which is again the postmodernism is talking about the different colors and materials, and also there's a different colored bases there. So together it gives a very futuristic look in the total complex of the design. This is a strong and remarkable urban futuristic form is there in this high-tech design. There's another is the Lloyd building by Richard Rogers and Mike Davies. So this is this Richard Rogers design in London came up in 1986. So this is a here technology is as ornamentation. So here the technology is the services technology. So services are exposed as part of the facade design, and the because the surfaces are taken out in the exterior wall, so clutter-free interior space is there. So from inside there's no electricity line, plumbing line is coming. Everything is coming from outside. So this concept we have seen in the metabolist movement, and we discussed that in the metabolist movement the concept of metabolism and brutalism also percolated in the postmodern movement, and postmodern many of the postmodern designs are also got inspired from the metabolism. So metabolism, one principle was the concept of servant and served. So servant spaces, which is like the services, are also has an aesthetic value. That was that was one concept, and another concept was this this modularity. So the servant and served concept is exaggerated over here and taken into different dimension, and that is creating the beauty aesthetics style of this building. So from outside you can see this servant space, which is staircase and which is also metal cladded. So metal is also a material which gives a very futuristic and contemporary look. So if you use stone and brick, which gives a more old look, but metal and glass, this gives a more futuristic look. So this concept of inside out architecture is called Baolism. So this Baolism, which came from metabolist approach, is the approach where services will be exposed as a part of facade design, and that will create a clutter-free interior spaces. So all this thing, it looks like there's a the skeleton is out, and all the services and the veins and things are outside the building, and that is creating this aesthetics of this building. So this Lloyd building, if we look at from inside also, it's like it's the same principle. This is the skin of this building, and from outside all the service lines and pipelines are exposed from outside, and that is creating the facade of this building, and that is the style. And this building, the visual style of this building is a Baolism, and that is giving the high tech and the futuristic look. And this looks like a very organic, like a giant organic element, which is whose veins and every organs are exposed from outside. Another example of this Baolism movement is Pompidou Center. Again, Richard Rogers is designing this with Renzo Piano. This is in 1977 in Paris, which is almost in the similar in the beginning of this postmodern era. So this is a center for George Pompidou. This is an art center, an exhibition center. This building is an exhibition is for exhibition of French culture. Again, the Baolism is used. So from outside, this is a service which is a level changing device. Staircase is used, and staircase is painted red from the behind, so people will see from human's eye perspective the red painted soffit of this staircase will be seen. And from outside, this is all structural members. So this is not just services, also the structural members are exposed from outside. So this is the front facade. When we show the back facade, there's you will see more plumbing and electricity, and all the services are exposed on the other three facade. So here the concept of this facade was, you can see the poster which is there on this facade. So this facade does not have a particular design color. So whatever is going on in the exhibition, the poster will be hanged on this facade, and that will create the facade, and that was the concept. And so the facade will be ever changing, and that will communicate with the people. And if you look at this building, so this building was this was the site, and the half of the site has this building and half was left empty. So from here, this creates this becomes a plaza, which is again the concept of place making. From outside, therefore roads will be there, and people will be will come here. So if the building was somewhere here, and which will left few negative space from outside, that this plaza couldn't have been created. So you can see the view of this plaza from here. They will see this staircase and all these posters, what is going on in this building. So the building will communicate with the people which is who are there in the plaza. So gradually the people from this road will come to the plaza, because there's open space and everybody can come there. And then the building facade will communicate. There will be a visual communication of the building facade with the people, and then gradually they will come here. So there's a people's perspective, and the people's behavior and user centric approach was there in those design. The concept was more used in the postmodernist movement, because it was also used in modernist movement in George Nelson's design and other design, but this was a postmodern concept of postmodernity. In postmodernity, this concept was overly used. Now this is selected by Oscar Niemeyer. We have seen Oscar Niemeyer's work in the monolithic style, in especially in Brazil, and Philip Johnson, who's also a modernist architect, and we have discussed Philip Johnson's work and how his work changed from internationalism to the historic movement. So this is a competition entry, and Richard Rogers and Renzo Piano got selected. And this Pompidou Center, this is the back side of the Pompidou Center, and here you can see all the services, and this is the structural element and the bracings and the steel element, which is like a facade going like that, and is holding like a scaffolding. All this services are can be also maintained using this scaffolding, and all these elements and the services are creating this facade. So this facade is not not treated facade. This is the treatment of the facade, and that is the beauty of this building. All these buildings are all these facades services are color coded, so that for the functional ease. So the green color is for the plumbing. So these are the plumbing. Blue are the for the climate control, for HVAC and others, and yellow is for electric. There is also yellow lines, which is giving the electricity supply, and red is for fire safety and the circulation. We have seen this red color in the stair, and this is for the fire safety elements. Now here it is, this is the plan. So the plaza is left, and from these roads people will percolate in the plaza, and then gradually they will enter through this building. This is another example of a high-tech building. This is Haus House by Hans Hollein. This is designed in 1990s in Vienna, in Austria. So this is a retail and a restaurant which is designed in the corner plot of this plaza. And so we can see on the perspective of this place making. So here this is a street facade, and all these shops are there, and which is very translucent, so people will see what is going on here. And there's a robust, more solid, more opaque top part is there. So here we can see this part is a glass curtain wall in this side, and also there are different elements, and this is a series of cylinders are added to it. And here also there's a glass curtain wall, and different kind of cladding is added. And so, and also in the facade treatment, we can see two different way of treatment in this one particular corner plot building. So this is also the adding to the complexity of the design for this two different way of treating the facade. And also because of this facade cladding and the glass curtain wall, this is giving a high-tech and futuristic look. And this high-tech and futuristic look is also in the contrast of the historical cathedral, which is just in front of it. So this become a little controversial because this is not responding to the visual style of the old Vienna's cathedral. And here you can see there's a lot of tilt and turn is also there in the, which is, and lot of different elements are added. So this is not just a straight facade, many elements are added into the design. And this steel claddings on in different places are also giving the futuristic look, and which is the visual vocabulary of the high-tech design. Now another example of high-tech design is HSBC Hong Kong and Shanghai Bank, designed by Norman Foster, who is one of the famous architect of postmodern era in 1985 in Hong Kong. So this used not just the concept of exposing the structure. This also used the concept of prefabrication, which is and modularity, which is there from which is coming from the metabolist approach. So Nagakin Capsule Tower is, if you remember, that was designed from prefab living units, which is constructed by a shipping container manufacturer, and that was snap fitted into the service core, and it was designed very quickly. So here also the prefabricated elements, steel modules are used to design the structure skeleton, which is exposed. So here the high-tech technology is coming from the structural technology, the construction technique. So here from outside we can see this is the structural member which is supporting the building, which is not hidden by the facade cladding, which is instead of that the structural skeleton is outside the building, and the facade covering is inside. So you see the structural skeleton from outside, and that is creating the high-tech technology. So technology is visible from outside. So this is taking a natural sunlight as main source of light from the central atrium, and this is also to cut down the cost of electricity, and feng shui is added to do the floor planning. As we are discussing more of the visual style, we will not discuss about the floor planning and how this has been created. But here this atrium, if you look at the huge atrium, takes and as well as the glass curtain wall from outside, takes the natural light from so there's a lot of illumination from inside, and also within the inside the steel structures and prefabricated materials, these bracings and the huge columns are exposed. This column could have been merged over here, but this is has an extension, and the column is going through and through, so that it becomes more visible, and it does not blend with the other movement elements. So this and this a not interrupted straight line are giving much more verticality to the look, and that looks more strong in the visual design. Otherwise, if this is inside this, then this element wouldn't have been have that visibility, which right now it has. So this structural skeleton is is visible from outside as well as from this atrium, which gives the visual style of this skeletal look of this high-tech building. Now another example of this high-tech building is Norman Foster's, again Norman Foster's design in Garkane. This is is the address of this building, and this design is 2001 in London. So in many of this London's photograph you will see this gherkin, and gherkin is this is the structural skeletal of this gherkin building, which is the turning and twisted columns, steel columns. So you can see this structure which is here. So all these twisted and turned skewed columns are going from bottom to the top of this building, and that is creating the facade. So facade is not something else. So this structural members, so this these are the steel structural members, are the what you see from this white lines are the steel structural members, and the cladding, which is the glass curtain wall, again going with the concept of the high tech, is following this grid, and this is breaking this one structural grid into a smaller grid by the glass curtain wall, and which is going in going hand in hand, and together this form also looks like a rocket, and which is also giving a futuristic high tech look of the building. So this is showing the construction and the technology of the facade cladding in as a high tech, the showcase of the visual concept of the high tech design. Now another building which looks quite similar is Jean Nouvel's Torre Akbar in Barcelona, which is designed just after that in 2004, which also looks like a gherkin, but this also has a contextual connection. So from outside, this is not showing the structural skeleton. This is showing a digital technology with this LED lights on top of this skin. So all these smaller facade cladding of digital facade LED lights, facade cladding will create this pattern of different colors. So this is not just red and blue, so this changes the color, there's green and other colors are there. So this takes an inspiration from this concept of Gaudi's design, which is there in the Barcelona, where Gaudi in Casa Mila and Park Güell, this is a Park Güell's lizard, which is designed by Gaudi, is taking the facade is of this sculpture. The skin of the sculpture is the porcelain ceramic tiles and different colored ceramic tiles. He used to also use in the outside skeleton, outside facade of the building as well. So this and Gaudi's work is there in throughout the Barcelona. So Barcelona is has a impact of Gaudi's work. So he's taking inspiration of Gaudi's lizard, and that's why the skin of this is like a lizard which changes the color. So there's green, blue and other different colors, and it looks like a lizard's color changing skin, which he's taking inspiration from, contextual inspiration from Gaudi. So this design is specially for Barcelona, because Barcelona is has this Park Güell's lizard. So this has a contextual connection, and this is not an internationalist building, so this cannot be placed in any other places, because that does not have the meaning, because there's a meaning is connected with the gherkin's skin is like a lizard's color changing skin. So that is how the Jean Nouvel is designed this with a contextual contextual connection, and also because of the digital technology, it is definitely within the high tech concept of the postmodernist movement. Thank you.